Hey, it's Spain with Role Playing Public Radio. We're playing Delta Green today for RPPR Actual Play. This scenario is called Puppet Shows and Shadow Plays by Adam Scott Glancy. It was originally published in the original Delta Green Call of Cthulhu campaign setting book back in the 90s, but it is being republished now for Delta Green, the standalone role-playing game, and it has been rewritten. It has been revised, and as someone who has actually ran the original version way back then, I'm quite interested to see how the new version works today.
You just see Ross crumbling into dust before our eyes.
Yeah, this scenario takes place in 1994 in late July. It does not give a specific date, but it is summer in Arizona. And as we begin, we have 2 FBI agents and an FBI medical examiner heading into we'll do a brief vignette of them in the car and talking about the case, about the Devil's Highway case, and they can introduce the characters, and then we'll do the briefing in San Carlos, Arizona. And so first off, we have a guest, V. Please introduce yourself and your character.
Hi guys, I'm V from Queen's Court Games, and I'm playing Dr. Christina Lambert. She's a genius with a strong stomach, but she's very, very closed off, and she's not very charismatic, and she's kind of awkward. But you know what? She gets the job done, so that's why she's here.
Great. And do you have anything you'd like to mention to our listeners?
Oh gosh, if you like Delta Green, come check out Queen's Court Games, I guess, because we also play Delta Green, but in a very different way than Role Playing Public Radio does. We play much longer games than RPPR tends to. Lot of long, drawn out things. Convergence is kind of our one of our favorite ones around Queen's Court Games.
It's a classic scenario. Yeah, it is,
and it is so good. And we had the Cardinals. It took folks a little bit to get that, but all of our agents were it was Agent North, Agent Sutherland, Dr. West, and then Agent Eastman. So
got to be aware of anyone named Dr. West.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Is there a lot of undead cats around?
Oh no. So next up, we have Thad.
It's me. Hello, intermittent RPPR person Thad here. I'm playing in this game, and I'm playing as FBI agent. I'm not changing the name from the pre-gen document. I'm just sticking with Taurean Cybulski. So
Agent
that is
Cybulski,
yeah, and he is in perfect health according to the distinguishing features. Also affable.
Yeah, very popular around the office.
Yeah, just go along to get along. Everybody's buddy. Good old Agent Cybulski.
Agent Cybulski. And his partner is being played by A-Rod. Hello, Aaron.
Oh, hello. So, yes, I will be playing another venerable, or I guess I say venerable in the fact that they're 27 years old, federal agent by the name of Jacklyn Wingfield. So, they appeared... Yep, so I guess... How old is Taurean?
I'm 41.
Oh, yeah, I'm newbie. I'm absolutely the new agent on the field right now who's just willing to get into
the wings. He's taking you under his wings. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, your boss is special agent in charge Patrick Hobson. He is in charge of Phoenix for the FBI, and that's where normally you work. But you have been sent to San Carlos to liaison to work with Major Frank Garrett of the Arizona Department of Public Safety, i.e. the state police. And then your Apache tribal police liaison is Alexandro Colorado's chief of the tribal police in the area. So this is an Apache tribal Indian reservation in eastern Arizona. And you had to take a 2-hour drive in the hot summer. Of course, your FBI cars are very well air conditioned, even in the 90s. And you are a lot of people have gone missing in like a month, to the point where this is made national press of the Devil's Highway. So there is, I've already sent you all some handouts. There's a map of the reservation, and you are in, as we begin play, you are in San Carlos, Arizona in the top left. But Highway 70, that's where all these people have disappeared. And then there are two, there's a brief summary of facts listing them, but as you're all driving in, what is sort of your attitude to each other and to the case? Because this is, a big case and you are not in charge. This is still a state matter right now. The FBI is helping, but, Hobson has told you all that you have to be delicate about things because we're concerned with tribal relations in the area. And we don't want a repeat of, the 70s, which if you, there was a violent a violent Pine Ridge Indian Reservation incidents in the 70s. You were to assist them and help them catch the culprits behind this, but this is not your case yet. They still have primary jurisdiction over it. So, we'll start with the. Actually, we'll start with Dr. Lambert. What are you thinking as you're heading to your briefing in San Carlos?
I don't really understand why they would call us in but not let us have jurisdiction. It ends up coming to us anyway. I don't understand why they can't just give it to us now. It's just kind of prolonging the inevitable, really. Obviously missing people, no good, but I'm curious to see. The problem is I also don't know why I'm here, if I'm being honest, because if people have gone missing, then there are no bodies to examine, and I am a medical examiner, and I cannot examine bodies that do not exist. So I don't really understand why I'm here. But
I mean, if we do end up finding anybody, that's probably just the identification of the corpses. Sorry to be a little bit dark on that, but probably the case.
Yes, but somebody of my intelligence being called in to just identify dead bodies instead of try and figure out it seems like a woeful misuse of my intellect, really.
Well, I don't mean to be the ours is not to question why, ours is but to do or die person, because not exactly, but sometimes you just gotta fake it till you make it, because the orders aren't going to care that we feel like we might be being jerked around or any number of things. It is what it is. If we can help, that's what we're going to do while we're there. Hopefully it will not be one of those things where people are always worrying about stepping on toes in jurisdictions, but it's the job.
I mean, also to consider what happens. How many cases have you run across where there's some sleazy local sheriff who's keeping a death or something under wraps because it's a little too close? If they need somebody else as a medical examiner to look at and say, this is not the case for somebody who might be being paid off, then I mean, it's still an underuse of your intellect, but but if you can buy that.
Yeah, keeping bad blood from boiling up is sometimes a reason for those decisions. That wouldn't be terribly surprising.
Yeah. I don't understand that it's process. I don't understand bad blood. The facts are all that matter in a thing. Why do people have to bring emotions into it? I don't get it.
Well,
crimes of passion.
Another thing I've never understood.
And so the conversation continues as until you get to the San Carlos, and you head to the state police precinct or the station, and the where you have been. Let's see. The San Carlos Apache Police Department headquarters. And you're brought into a briefing room. You meet the Tribal Chief Colorado's and Major Garrett of the state police. And, they shake all of your hands. Garrett, you could all, if you want to, make a human check.
Yay!
To kind of size both of them up.
Man's at 60. Dice, they're not going to betray me.
Yeah.
50, unfortunately, over 40, so I don't know.
They're both great people.
I mean, as great as people can be, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
let's-
like to inform you, Ross, that I rolled a 99 on my first roll.
They're all guilty. Shoot them all.
But
I did get a 51 under 60.
Okay. So you get a sense, just also by seeing how, just taking the lay of the station. This is, the tribal police headquarters. There are other local tribal police here. Colorado's is like a man who just wants to get this done. He does not hate white people, but he is definitely suspicious of the federal government. That's pretty much easy. So he's keeping you at sort of arm's length. But the Major Garrett boy, he has just this hint of contempt in his voice when he addresses Colorado's, and has an exaggerated cowboy drawl that is a bit of acting for Arizona. Like it is, he is, this guy is, a reason why people don't like cops. So, but Garrett is like, oh, I'm so happy. I'm so glad. Technical assistance from the FBI. We could use all the technical assistance we could, and just more bodies looking around can't hurt. I think y'all can agree to that. But I like that. Your boss has assured me over the phone that you understand that we're in charge, that you are not running the show.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I mean, one of the great things about these United States is sharing resources while respecting sovereignty, right? Right?
Yes, yeah. There we go. That's what I want to hear. So, of course, you'll keep me abreast of any developments in the case before we get into the gritty details. But we're all working together. Please don't hide anything, withhold anything, or do anything sketchy. We'll all be simpatico, okay? Okay. Well, this is a big, it's a big old mess that we're in. So we have 13 people in the last month that have gone missing in this particular area near Route 70. No signs of violence, no known enemies, no valuables missing, except for what they were carrying on them. No contact from the perpetrators. So no ransom demands, no nothing. And we have a list of the missing. The first death on the 4th of July, Alan and Karen Kirtley. The car was found abandoned en route to their son's house. Then July 6th, we have Felix Royos. He was working a gas station, right? And he points the spot on the map. Then July 10th, Ed Stoltz and Chris Martin. They're fishing at the reservoir. Camp was left undisturbed. And let's see here, July 15th, Rolf Trotner, and Frida Allenberg. They're German. They're German tourists. The embassy's already contacted us, about the rental cars found abandoned on the Route 70, around July 15th. Dieter and Vera von Olsen, Dutch tourists. Goddamn tourists. And then just a couple days ago, we'll say it's July 30th. The Begay family, all four of them, they had a ranch and was abandoned quite some ways. More details here in this here dossier. This does not fit any sort of common pattern. As you might imagine. So if you have some information, I'd like to hear it. But that's where we're at, and I imagine the FBI doesn't need their hand held about being told where to go, what to do, just as long as you know to report back. If you need assistance with anything, we can help. If you have questions,
at least one. Have did a basic forensics of the vehicles that were retrieved, the rental cars or anything, show anything off or anything that might have been led to a bit of evidence?
No. We have conducted our own forensic examination. All three vehicles are actually in Phoenix, in an impound yard. And but so far, the people there have examined and found nothing. So I mean, if you all want, you can make a criminology check to come up with some ideas on what to do, or if you have more questions. Yeah.
Well, that's a 1. So
this is how they did it.
Yeah.
And this is where they are.
Okay, so with a 1, that there are 2 things that come to mind. One would be to let's see here, to start looking at the most recent victims, or the most recent disappeared people, the Begay family. There's one thing no one's taken a helicopter out to do an aerial survey of the land. No one, you could go back to the actual ranch. There is a preliminary report on the ranch, or like the family. So Victorio, the father, age 42, his wife, Louisa, age 38, their sons, Luca, age 13, and Paco, age 15. Victorio is a respected member of the Apache community. He owned 200 sheep, and 30 hectares of property, 2 pickup trucks, and a home big enough to give his children their own rooms. No enemies. They both work the ranch full time. There's not much else about the ranch in terms of information, so you don't know if that's been properly searched as a crime scene. So that would be, those 2 things immediately jump to mind as things you could do today, or right now, to like an aerial survey and then like go to the ranch itself. So those jump out at you as obvious leads.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you have any other questions or whatever, feel free to ask. But yeah, the handouts explain all the missing, basically, what they have here is in the little handout. So I'm not going to go over all of them because it's a lot of people have gone missing and it's not great. But yeah, that was thinking about the gaps. There's sort of bursts of activity. July 4th, July 6th, then for 3 people, then July 10th, 2 people, then July 15th, 4 people.
Although we're less sure as to when the tourists disappeared.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, it's probably going to be, maybe you can establish a pattern with that. It's hard to say. There's a lot of anomalies about this case. There's no profit motive. There's no bodies. There's no blood, that they can find. It's very weird. Doesn't fit any patterns that you know of.
Okay.
If you want to ask more questions, you can. Otherwise, you can. What are you thinking about wanting to do? Or you can converse amongst yourselves to figure out a plan.
How far away is the ranch?
The ranch is.
But there's a lot of map.
There is a lot of map. Let me see here. Actually,
I don't think I actually see the ranch on there. I think you're lying.
Oh yeah, it is not. Yeah. Sorry, that's the player version. There's a secret version. It's about in the middle of the map, so it is north of Route 70. But okay, if you look in the middle of the map where it says Gila Mountains, if you go, if it's between that and the highway, closer to the highway in the sort of the lighter brown area.
Okay.
So that little lighter brown area.
So closer to Calva?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So
I
mean, it would take a while to get there, but obviously, if you want to do a thorough search, it's going to take hours, and then doing the helicopter and doing the ranch in the same day would be tough for one person. But if you split up,
if we were going to split, I would say. I mean, I would think at least 2 for the ranch, 1 for the aerial survey.
I would agree.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, who is the most comfortable with physical forensics? It's probably not me. I'm a bit.
I have a little bit. I have training on that, sir. I can go into that.
You don't have to. You don't have to sir me. Just Cybulski. You can call me Taurean if you want.
The Taurean, sorry, force of habit.
No worries.
Right. Yes. Also, hi. Hello. This is what I do. So.
Oh, no, I figured. Not to be presumptuous, but Doc, I figured you would be taking point on that one.
Of course.
Okay. So.
Oh, actually, I'm going to turn to the tribal guy. Is there like permissions or forms that we need to work out with you to make sure we're okay to check out this ranch, right? Like, I don't want to step on anyone's toes.
If you,
if someone from your group need to go along, I mean, I imagine our agents aren't going to complain to another set of hands if you want to still be in the loop directly, or
make a persuade check.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's make sure that we're being concurrent with tribal relations here.
Hey, 38 under 50.
Okay. I do talk to one of his neighbor, old man named John Rope. He said something had been stealing his sheep for a couple of nights, and the night he disappeared, he said he was going to sit out all night with his rifle till he caught the culprit. And then they were gone. I can get you the keys. I have to key. I can't accompany you. We don't have enough people. It's a big area and we're all searching. But I have the keys here into the ranch house. Just be respectful. Don't break anything,
I mean, I can't vouch for the doc because I haven't worked with her before, but she seems professional.
All right, but yeah, just radio in. You'll probably need radios too. You're here. He hands you all like a radio. It'll radio in if you find anything. We haven't had time to really search it that much, other than just check a house or not here. But yeah, we're stretched very thin. People are on edge, as you can imagine. The press is starting to trickle in to.
Well, I'm sure some of them mean well, but a lot of them get that looky-loo impulse, and it just creates more problems.
Yeah.
Also, at least one more question that I thought about it. Have you been able to cross-reference anything with specifically maybe like DEA references when they were like tracking narcos or anything else on either smuggling runs or even human trafficking routes?
No, but this doesn't. It just never occurred to me. It doesn't. It's not like them. They didn't take any money. They didn't take the vehicles. They wouldn't take random people who would be missed. It's not their MO at all. They want to avoid publicity like this.
Yeah, it's drawn a lot of attention.
I would imagine they're avoiding the area now because of all the news about the Devil's Highway. So
yeah. Well, at least small blessings for this. So
okay. Assuming no more questions, it sounds like Cybulski, you're going up in the air. And,
I'm assuming there's somewhere we can get access to a helicopter and someone to fly it that's not me.
That's pretty easy. There are Arizona State Police helicopters.
Woo.
So you can go do a survey of the area. So you go and let's see here, and that is so it'll take you some time to drive out there and get in the helicopter and all that, but you're on your way. And meanwhile, Dr. Lambert and Agent Wingfield head to the ranch, and they get there first because it's a ranch and it's within driving distance. So, it is a pretty. How long have you two been in the area, the region in Arizona? Are you have you grown up here? Were you transferred in from some other office? Like, how familiar would you be with like ranches out in the sticks in a deserty environment like this?
I've Agent Winfield's from Denton, Texas originally, so she's seen a bunch of things like this before. So, but it's slightly different to being in a more arid environment.
Okay, yeah. Dr. Lambert.
It's not a place that I feel super comfortable, but it is away from people, so that's okay. I'm not really an animal person, so ranches are not really my thing.
Yeah. There are some there are some sheep here. And oh, there you go. There are some there is some sheep. It does look like a family, yeah, ranch. Like it has like the fencing. There's like a couple of mailbox with a little the Begay name on it, and there's some toys scattered around the yard, like a little bicycle and a child's bicycle, like for a kid, and but it is quite quiet. And you start to both of you can give me search checks or survival checks.
Ooh. Search, because that's my highest.
Okay.
Same here. It's a 58 under 60.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I got a 26 under 50.
Okay. Both of you remember John Rope's story, so you go and count up the surviving sheep. And 25 of the flock is missing. Like there are 25 missing sheep. And then that's when you find you smell it first. There's a scent. You Dr. Lambert, you smell it in the air, very faintly at first, but it is unmistakable to you. It is the scent of death, of rotting flesh, and you follow it, and it gets stronger and it gets stronger until you see the dug up graves. There are 26 open graves. There is, and you start looking in them. Most of them are for individual sheep, one for each sheep. And then there is one that has 4 human bodies in it.
Ooh.
Both of you give me a sand check for violence.
Well, yep.
I am actually adapted to violence.
Okay, you don't lose any.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, a 26 again, so I...
Yeah.
this is bad, but...
You also made the check, and you see there are coyote tracks. Well, I mean, you made your check, so you identify them as coyotes. All over the graves. The coyotes have dug up all of these graves.
With the human, speaking with at least the human corpses, are they fairly mangled from that, or is there anything that can be identifiable?
They are very identifiable. They have not been bit. They have not been. The coyotes did not touch the corpses. As far
Either
as
the sheep or the humans.
No, but they did. Yeah. So go ahead and give a forensics check.
That is a 29 under 60.
29. Yeah. Certainly violent. These people were killed. We'll get to that. They were killed violently. All the humans were killed violently. All the sheep were killed violently, but none of them were touched by that coyote. The coyotes dug them up and then left the bodies alone.
Is there anything like strange about the bodies that I can tell? Is there like a weird like if they've been killed violently, I would expect like blood and stuff, but are there any other
There's very little blood.
There's very little blood. Okay.
Yep. And there are multiple needle-like wounds in all of the carcasses. There are no signs of lividity that comes with blood settling at the lowest point in the body after death. They're all drained of blood.
Okay, exsanguination. We love to see it.
So yeah, you will have to get these into a room and work on them to reveal more. But you call it in, I imagine.
Yeah. Before we do that, can we? Do they still have identification on them?
Mm-hmm.
What do we have?
Yeah, it is. Well, you have photos of the missing family, and they are still identifiable. They've only been dead for a few days. This is the Begay family.
Okay.
The father, mother, and both kids.
Damn.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Agent Cybulski.
Hey.
You're in the air.
Everything's fine. I don't know about it.
You're surveying the desert, and you something as you're surveying it. You're about 25 kilometers southeast of the ranch, and about 1 kilometer north of Route 70, and you notice a very large white rectangle in the desert, like just peeking out from the desert sand, or from the dirt, whatever you want to call it. Give me an idea check, intelligence times 5.
5. Yeah, I make it 30 under 55.
That's the roof of a car that's been buried in the desert.
Okay.
It has been exposed. You call it in as well. And in fact, the pilot just says, if you're willing to, I could just drop you down. I could. It's a desert. I can just take us down now.
Yeah, we should probably take a look.
All right. So you sat down a couple hundred meters away, so you don't disturb the scene with the rotor wash. And you approach it and give me a search or a survival check.
It'll be search because it's great that this team of people hanging out in the desert, I assume, all have survival at base.
The other option was a park ranger.
Again, Denton.
Hey,
let's be honest.
20 under 50. Success.
You find animal tracks all around the site. And the pilot, when you point them out to the pilot who stopped, he's curious. He wants to see what's going on too. Those are coyote tracks. Your initial impression is that a coyote dug up this car or the roof of this car.
I assume I have like a Polaroid camera or something.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But you call it in, and they bring out people to dig up the vehicle. And so, but you three are radioing each other.
That's a lot of work to bury a car.
Are there?
I'm assuming there's no tracks from like construction equipment or something.
No. Give me another intelligence times 5 check.
27. Success.
It's buried very shallowly. They actually drove it into a slight ravine or a gully, and then they managed to cover it. So if the roof had not been exposed, you would not have seen it.
Okay, so the roof was probably buried and got like blown.
No, it was very specifically dug up by a coyote. Like those are digging tracks. Like,
all right,
they were looking through corpses. So
yeah, are there corpses in the car?
I don't know. We just got a roof.
You dig it up, and yes, there are. There is a man, the corpse of a man in there. He is extremely ripe. Give me a sand check there, Agent Cybulski. He has been in there for weeks, you're guessing.
Is my sand? Oh, I fail that. 71.
It's a violence.
60.
All right, it's 1. And give me a count times 5. He has been in the summer desert. The desert in the summer.
Oh no, Ot 7. I'm fine.
Okay, yeah, you don't throw up, but it is.
Might want to pulling out like a bandana to tie around my face.
So yeah, you could actually, if you're willing to break the window, you could actually reach in and try and see if you can. You look in and you can see a wallet in his pocket.
Oh yeah, I'm doing that.
Okay, Dex times 5.
Oh nope, fail.
Okay. You get it, but the corpse shifts and falls on your arm.
Oh,
give me another sand check.
28 success.
Fine.
All right, yeah, you're fine. You get a name, Kenneth Braverman of Houston, Texas.
Right. I guess I'm gonna radio that in as well. I got a not so fresh Braverman, Kenneth.
Just looking at it, it looks like he died of a massive trauma to his abdomen. Someone cut a hole in his belly and let his intestines spill out on the front seat.
Okay. That's
there is very little blood.
It kind of evaporated, maybe. We don't know.
All right. Well, Doc, I'm sure you got a lot on your plate already, but we got another
this is the rest of the day for all of you. Like processing these two crime scenes is going to take hours. Digging up the car, digging up the guy, transporting the bodies, and Dr. Lambert has a lot of work all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Great.
Something else we could possibly do with another forensics rolls while we're doing that. Can I roll to see if there's any kind of footprints or if any of the digging implements at the farm were used to create the graves out there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, 13 under 50. So
no, someone
or 13 under 30. Sorry.
Yeah, with that you get looking in the graves and the side of the graves. They were dug up by coyotes, but you see patterns consistent with someone digging it up with their hands, like a human making shallow graves.
Still, that would take like forever in order to do that, though. So, if you're doing it by hand,
if you're doing it by hand, yeah. But I mean, they're not very deep. They were pretty shallow, but they were all, yeah. But yeah, someone very strong could have done it if they were very motivated and very fast. But it would not. Yeah. It is very perplexing behavior. Certainly, it would hurt to dig things up with your hands.
Well, Dr. Lambert, see, this is why it's good to have a medical examiner, even if you're not sure you'll need one, because imagine the pickle we'd be in if you weren't here right now.
Because counterpoint, I flunked med school, so that's why we need you.
So there are 5 bodies that you found, and 5 human bodies and 25 sheep bodies.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dr. Lambert, you have a facility to do it. There's a hospital nearby they can take them to, and you can get to work. Who do you want to look at first?
I would like to look at the Begay family, probably because we end up getting there with that body first, anyway, or those bodies first. And I kind of want to compare all of the injuries between them, the people and also the sheep, because I'm trying to decide if they're all
okay, like preliminary examinations. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's unorthodox, but like given the restraint, given your priorities, that makes sense. So. Yeah, you can roll medicine or forensics. And
that is 26 under 80.
Okay, yeah. So I'll give you while you're doing that, there is one lead of Kenneth Braverman, from Houston, Texas. So both of you can give me a criminology check if you want.
All right.
You do.
Nope. Regular failure.
Okay.
That criminology missed by 5. So
yeah, we're
okay.
Bringing our best.
All right. Well, it's not you'll get the information. Just that's all you can do today if you want to find out who Braverman is, and what he's been up to.
Yeah, I don't like not knowing what a body's doing somewhere, so I will dedicate to that, I think.
Okay. So you two have to make a lot of calls to Texas.
Yeah, you speak Texan. You take this one.
The Houston police, for some reason, are very reluctant to talk to you. You have to cut through a lot of red tape until you find out that Kenneth Braverman was the prime suspect was a police officer and also a suspect in the horrific series of prostitute killings in and around Houston.
Great.
So
dirty
we noted
that always opens doors with other law enforcement. Hooray.
So, but meanwhile, as you're digging into that, here is what you're able to figure out, Dr. Lambert. The multiple needle wounds in all the carcasses, all of the bodies. The wounds pierce the heart, lungs, both adrenaline glands, and both amygdala of every person, but merely the heart and lungs of the sheep. Do you have pharmacy?
I do.
All right, roll pharmacy. Or medicine, actually.
Ooh.
Medicine. Yeah.
57 under 60 for pharmacy, so I'll take it.
Okay. You find traces of a tranquilizer in their nervous systems. You cannot identify it, though. Something blocked the receptors for receiving voluntary nerve messages. Involuntary nervous action continued. Now you can keep focusing on that, or you can look more at the bodies themselves with the amount of time. I mean, or if you just want to focus on one body and sort of solve it for one, you can do that and assume that it's the same pattern throughout. So what do you want to do? Do you want to focus on the rest of the body, or do you want to focus on this weird tranquilizer?
Oh gosh, that's I want to go with the tranquilizer. I think the tranquilizer is probably key.
Okay.
Probably important.
Pharmacy, again. Or unless you have chemistry at a higher rate, the science chemistry. Biochemistry. Okay, yeah. Right.
But that's an 85, so I don't get it.
You cannot identify it. It must be a very weird one. Just yeah. I mean, this hospital's not got a full all the equipment. It's not Langley, right? So it must just be something mundane that you just can't identify yet. But something weird. So yeah. So you can you can push the midnight oil if you want. That'll cost you willpower, though.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not one to let a mystery go unsolved. So absolutely.
Okay. All right. Give me another medicine check.
That is a 70 under 80 for medicine.
All right. You find it's really weird. Before they died, there was like this necrosis event in the bodies. The amygdalas suffered cell death before the victims were exsanguinated. You can tell when they lost all their blood just what that does to the body, but the amygdalas were definitely dead before that. Both adrenaline glands atop the kidneys have suffered pre-cardiac arrest necrosis. The nervous system and the intestinal tracts were also necrotic prior to death. Their systems were washed with adrenochrome, a waste product created when the hormone adrenaline is used by the body. The enteric nervous system of the intestinal tract creates 90% of the serotonin in the body. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter that regulates mood. Low levels of serotonin lead to depression and anxiety. The amygdala is believed to be part of the limbic system of the brain that induces negative emotions like fear, sadness, and anxiety. The adrenal gland creates the adrenaline, which kicks in to prepare for fight or flight responses. So something invaded the body through those small perforations and then manipulated the nervous system and glands to ensure the victim experienced massive fear, anxiety, and depression prior to death by exsanguination.
And they also, it also shut off, so they couldn't move and were terrified to death.
Mm-hmm.
What a way to go.
Yeah, it's you've never seen anything like that. To say the least.
No haunted houses that would probably pay big bucks for that.
Meanwhile, the FBI agents, you get finally you get this detective with the Houston Police is like, I just don't get it, man. I don't know. He was missing. His children, we find his kids were fucking ate his kids. What did he do with the blood? The blood, there was no blood with the kids.
Oh,
we just found their remains, with bite marks on them.
I'm gonna need a copy of whatever files you got on that over here because we have some similar cases going on.
His wife was missing. So is the family car, which was the car you just uncovered.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that a says car model and year?
Mm-hmm. I don't get it. He must have been alone. Like, there's no way he could have killed his wife, disposed of her body, mutilated himself, and buried the car. How could he have done that to himself?
Yeah, that does seem unlikely.
A little improbable. So.
Probably still looking.
But then that means his wife is the killer because she's still missing.
Or the way we're uncovering bodies, I don't necessarily want to presume, but we'll call her a person of interest to be sure.
Yeah, they really want your deep files on this stuff too.
Yeah, what is her name?
Yeah, because of
Elaine.
how deep the
Elaine
files are.
Braverman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they'll show up, get them to you as soon as they can, and yeah, but that is all you can get done tonight. Something this regular guy, this cop, he just started. We thought that he was suspected for a bunch of prostitute killings, which you don't know about yet, but like his kids were found without, cannibalized, bloodless. His wife was missing, the car was missing, and then he shows up dead like that. Yeah, all of you have extremely long nights. And for our FBI agents, Dr. Lambert is still in the hospital by the time you turn in at midnight.
Yeah.
So you kind of, I guess you could go to the morgue or the forensic examination room and offer moral support to Dr. Lambert, or you could get some sleep.
Yeah, it would pretty much just be moral support. I got 0 on anything aside from straight criminology, or I guess forensics. I'm a little bit, but just barely.
Okay.
I have a 30 in forensics, so
yes.
Do you want to sleep, or do you want if you want to stay up? It's 1d4 willpower. Like Dr. Lambert, that's how much you're going to lose.
Okay.
But if you want to keep your willpower the same, you have to go to sleep. So are you sleeping, or are you going to go?
I mean, there's not really
what are you
anything
doing
else that I can pursue, so I'm going to go
Okay,
to
yeah.
bed.
yeah, the only other thing I was thinking of is it's something you could do in the morning too, is maybe seeing if we could track any kind of credit cards or debit cards that
Well,
they
hold
might have
on.
been using.
Both of you do you have the same hotel room, or are you separate rooms?
I mean,
I'm assuming same.
Same.
yeah, I assume they're probably not splurging on the travel.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's true. Both of you are woken up. You can both hear a coyote howling from outside.
Like really close, or
That's when you hear scratching at the door and a bark.
I'm gonna
gun is out. So-
Okay.
just gonna
Wingfield
go up
has a
and,
gun
like,
out.
peer through
Yeah.
the peephole.
There's nothing. You don't see anything. It's night. It's like 2 a.m.
Just try to edge around the
Hold
curtain.
on.
Just is there enough of an edge to see the door?
It's a hotel room. Like, do you want to open the door or not?
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do: is I'm going to engage the lock chain thing, and then open the door, so that it can't open any further than the chain.
Okay. You see a dead lizard that has been bitten in front on the ground.
And nothing else. The scratching stopped, I assume.
Yeah. There's nothing there.
Okay.
I
I let out a
what
sigh.
kind of lizard is it?
Oh, sorry, I was gonna go and grab my my camera and an evidence bag, and Wingfield, if you want to cover me while I collect this.
Yeah, I'm already out there, kind of basically sweeping off to the sides,
Yeah,
looking for
thanks.
tracks. Or is there anybody else out there other than like our cars and?
It is a tiny Gila monster.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, we are. Isn't it the Gila Mountains out there or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Although, okay, what kind of mob hit is sending a coyote in to drop off a dead lizard?
People do
that
all
something
sorts
new
of
I don't
odd
know?
things. I mean, you know as much as I do. We'll have to ask the.
I assume you've seen.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I know. I just assume right now you've seen like weird mob things all over the place, or criminal organizations. Like, here's your kiss of death, a lizard.
Lizard's a new one on me, but I don't know. We can ask the major. We can ask the tribal folks if they ever heard anything like this. But it's a new one on me.
Good grief.
So, Dr. Lambert, you're finishing up at like 4 a.m. You don't really have enough. You can take a cat nap on the couch there in the little waiting room. In fact, you got to do. You're just so tired. You just kind of like nod off. You're done. You need to close your eyes for a bit. When you wake up, it's dawn. Like you can see the sun peeking through the window. And there is a cup of coffee there on the table with a little manila folder on it, and there is a little note taped to paper clip to it. Yeah.
What does the note say?
Well, I will show you. First, it was Mac Tooley of Tecumseh, West Virginia. Dr. Benton Clark, autopsy. Tooley quits his job, moves to Nashville, disappears. Then was Father Willard Franklin of St. Bartholomew's, shelter of the homeless in Nashville until he committed seppuku. Then it was Eliza Jackson, who used to live at St. Bartholomew's, but in New Orleans French Quarter. David Clark kills Jackson, moves to Houston, disembowels himself in a hotel room. Braverman was not the first. He won't be the last. And there are a bunch of clippings. From scientific journals dated 6 months ago. They describe meteor shower over West Virginia. Meteors discovered by locals in Tecumseh County.
Okay, great. What?
It's just there. It was just there in the room with a fresh cup of coffee. Still hot.
I'm gonna get up and like look out the door and just kind of like glance down the hallways and see if I see any. There's nobody.
No.
Okay, great. And all these clippings are just about this meteor shower.
Yeah.
Okay. Aside from this meteor, I mean, is there anything in the articles that like hints to this as being supernatural in any way, shape, or form, or is it just like everybody just assumes it's a normal meteor shower? Are there interviews with people who
Do you have any astronomy or like physics as a
Oh God, no, I have biology. Then nothing. Okay. Weird. Ugh. I've got a 20 in occult. Is there anything that like I could think about like the dates of the meteor shower as being like particularly?
You can give me an occult roll. Yeah, sure.
Okay, all right. Let's try this. This is a long shot, but let's try.
This meteor in the 8th house of Aquarius.
Absolutely not. That's a 71 over 20. So
no.
I don't know.
Meteors are often omens of bad. Yeah, meteors are often omens of ill fortune. They signify, dark times are coming. Falling stars. Yeah.
I'll have to see if Cybulski or Wingfield know anything about this because
you could all meet for breakfast in the hotel cafeteria. They come to pick you up. Yeah.
So we might have pissed off somebody.
What? I left you alone for not that long. Who could you have possibly pissed off?
I don't know, but we got a present for you. This was sitting outside of our door when we were woken in the middle of the night by weird scratching noises.
And a coyote howling.
Mm-hmm.
Where was the coyote howling?
Outside the door.
Like directly outside the door?
Yeah, that's at least the assumption. That's way closer than I've ever been to one.
I mean, it could have been. There could be a body close by. Is what I'm. Anyway.
Yeah.
With a quick cursory glance of this lizard, does it look like it was just killed by a coyote as opposed to? Okay. Yeah. Great. Well, thank you for this, and I'm gonna just push it.
That lizard in the plastic
bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I have something
in my bag.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's evidence.
Well, I have something that you might find much more interesting that was left for me this morning, and I'm just gonna like toss the dossier on the table.
Okay. This was this was left at the hospital, like where you were working.
Yeah, I was up all night, and I laid down and just closed my eyes for just a moment. Woke up, and it was there with a hot cup of coffee that I didn't dare drink.
All right.
Reasons that I'm sure are apparent.
Well, we got some names we can call in, see if we can get some more info. I would also say we should reach out to the hospital, see if they got any kind of CCTV security, and how long they keep recordings for, see if we can see who left this little present for you. I imagine you probably got another full day ahead of you with the bodies.
Likely.
Okay. Well, nice to know that somebody's got an eye on us. That's always a fun one. So everybody, I assume we're probably going to be doing a lot of work separately. We should check in as often as we can. Try not to go more than Doc. If you don't hear from us, every couple hours, I would say reach out to us. I assume you're probably going to be more likely to lose track of time while you're elbow deep in various things. But, yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. So, you can try and identify that tranquilizer again.
Let's get back to it. Oh, and I will catch them up on the tranquilizer and all of that nonsense over breakfast as well.
Oh, well, that all just sounds horrible.
I mean, if you want to be completely...
I can't be honest, or to be perfectly honest, I can't imagine a worse way to go.
Yeah, it's a lot of new stuff in my dossier today.
Gives a whole new meaning to the term "dying screaming."
I'm getting too old for this. Okay. Yeah, I'd say first thing I would like to stop by the hospital where the doc's been working and see if there's any security footage of theirs I can pull, like any video to roll back.
Give me I guess SIGINT would be better, but criminology would work too.
Yeah, no, it's going to be criminology. I'm an old-fashioned kind of guy.
Yeah.
Nope, regular failure.
It's not working. It was just working. Yes, your goddamn fucking new system.
Anyone
not working?
Do you know who was working security last night? Or this morning, I guess, because you said it was you fell asleep in the early morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was Ted, the security guard.
Is he still on shift or?
He's about to leave. You can catch him right now.
Yeah, no, I'll go talk to Ted.
Okay, yeah. Hi.
Hey, we had somebody leave let's say a mysterious package for one of our agents here around about, I don't know, I guess what time based on what the doctor told me. Do you have any recollections? Anyone unfamiliar?
No, they must be mistaken. Nothing would have gotten by me. You can give me human.
Yeah. Ought to.
Yeah, this guy is bluffing. He's nervous about his job.
I start looking for my pen, like I'm reaching my jacket.
Also,
pocket.
He's been drugged recently and doesn't know it.
Wait, I realized that?
Yeah, with a human, he's a bit slow. His eyes are a bit dilated, like he's been hit with some kind of sedative. But like drinking NyQuil, not realizing, that kind of level of
look. Look, Ted.
Yeah.
I am more interested in finding information that will facilitate the solving of multiple murders than I am in causing problems for someone who's just working day to day.
All right, roll persuade. I'll give you a plus 20. You got the badge.
Also, I have this federal agent badge. That is regular success.
He confesses that he fell asleep. He was really tired last night, and he just kind of sat down for a minute to sort of drink some coffee and wake up, and then he was it was the end of his shift.
Did you wake up hurting, aching anywhere in particular? Strange feelings?
I just felt a bit out of sorts,
Glancing over him, I don't know, for example, see any puncture wounds?
Alertness.
Ought 4. Hey.
No, nothing like that.
Okay. Well,
may have spent something that was slipped into his coffee too.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Look, I'm not going to cause any problems for you. But if you know about the time that you were awake or asleep, anything, narrow things down.
I don't remember, man. It's kind of a blur.
Okay. Do you know any? Can you direct me to any?
I mean, the security. We got this newfangled security system just last year, not that long ago. It should record everything.
Oh, well, if you can roll that back for me, that would be handy, because I don't know how to navigate that thing at all.
Okay. He goes to the security station, and then he's like, he starts flipping through. He's like, well, I'll be... No, he frantically hit him. It's like, yesterday's been deleted.
Okay. Well, that's not good. How many people have access to this room? Is it lock and key? Is it?
It's supposed to be locked, but we don't always do that because we have to come in and out and check stuff.
Okay. Can I get a list of other people on your crew who regularly work with and know how to work the security apparatus, just in case?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you could give me your contact information, and I guess
he does. He's cooperated.
Cool.
He's genuinely unsettled now.
Yeah. No, I mean, unless he drugged himself, which is a hell of a mind game, I'm not especially suspicious of this guy.
Mm-hmm.
But all right. Yeah, thanks.
All right. Agent Wingfield, what are you doing?
While we were looking through at the hospital, I'm still interested to see what the movements on Braverman were.
Okay.
So I'd like to do a bureaucracy roll to see if I can get information on any, credit card transactions or anything that may have been set over the last month or so.
90s. This is 1994. You can. Yeah. It's not going to give you as much as.
Yeah, but you're going to have to go through the bank.
That's why. Yeah, figured we could do that.
You can investigate the Braverman case, sure, without having to wait for them to send files to you. So yeah, go ahead and give me bureaucracy. That'll get you all that information.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yes, that is a 47 under 60.
So you comb FBI information, news clippings, a variety of sources, and it looks like 2 months ago there were 17 related prostitute murders in Houston. Several people saw what seemed to be the same man in the company of each prostitute before she disappeared. Composite drawings based on their description led detectives to a colleague, Houston police officer Kenneth Braverman. Car and license plate were identified. Corpses, or more accurately, parts of them, were found in drain pipes and abandoned buildings. All corpses were drained of blood. Some had been sexually molested. Most showed signs they had been field dressed like deer, and parts of the cadavers had been removed, leading to the speculation the killer was engaging in acts of cannibalism. While the investigation began to focus on Braverman, they thought he murdered his children, kidnapped his wife, and fled Houston on July 1st. His whereabouts are unknown until you found him. So
just before disappearances started out here, where we found him.
Yep.
Okay.
What would have caused him to flee that area unless he was about to get caught? That was the only thing I can think of.
With your successful criminology check, he absolutely. Yeah. The heat was on. He was in the Houston police offices. He knew how it worked. So he must have been, figured out they were onto it.
Okay, well.
So that takes you some time. That takes both of you some time.
Yep.
And you're still working. So you can give me another.
Wait a minute.
Dr. Lambert.
No, keep going. I just thought of something, so.
Yes. So I rolled a 51 for my medicine under 80, or if it's a pharmacy under 60.
This is you didn't make a mistake last night, actually. This is just not something in any known database. This is a new tranquilizer. This is new to science.
Great.
And possibly you can't identify its ingredients, what it's made out of.
Mm-hmm.
You can identify what it does based on the evidence you have available to you, but you don't know what this tranquilizer is.
Okay.
You don't know if humans can make them.
Great. Love that for us.
Mm-hmm. So this is taking some time.
Mm-hmm.
Major Garrett wants to talk to the FBI agents. He pages you. And wants you to call it, or no, radios you. You have radios, yeah.
Yeah.
He'd like to have a briefing.
I mean, I also absolutely have a pager like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So you get paged. Yeah. So at least one of you has to go back, talk to Major Garrett, and report on what you found.
All right. Do you want to talk to the major, or do you want me to? Because I think the other one of us should start running down this list of names from the doctor's crazy note.
Absolutely, yeah, we should do that. I could go talk to him as well, kind of see what we can get. But something I thought about just in case while I'm doing that. Um, so if we can get a mapping location of where Braverman's car was found in relation to where the first car was abandoned on July 4th with the Kirtleys, and then maybe make a line from there to see where it's like each of those is going, because we know where some of the bodies were.
See how the locations and the times relate. Yeah,
exactly, too, because yeah, there's something else going on here that's weird right now, but we might get more of a hit on that. So
you want to talk to the major and I look through names?
Yeah.
And we look at the plot of location.
Yeah, I can do that if you trust the junior to take care of that.
No,
So not to bring shame to. Yeah. So at least try to be at least. So right. Yeah, I'll go talk to him.
Okay. So you go talk to Major Garrett, and so Cybulski, you're looking up the other cases.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there seems to be like a chain here from Thule to Clark to Franklin, was it Thule to Clark? Yeah.
Okay, well,
Clark,
you need to go to an office or like your hotel room.
Yeah. I'm gonna need to like reach out.
Privacy. Yeah. Okay. All right, so you all split up. So Dr. Lambert, after you're working, you're hungry. You take a break. I would imagine. Are you eating alone or in the cafeteria?
Oh, alone. Cafeterias. There's a lot of external noise in cafeterias. I don't like that much noise.
Okay.
So eat alone.
As you're eating, a man in his like 30s and wearing a lab coat. It's got a little ID tag. A doctor comes in the break room, smiles at you, nods. Starts making coffee's out. I guess I'll have to make some. Starts making it. And it's like, you don't mind me asking, are you with the investigation?
Yes, I am.
Ah, you think you'll find the culprit?
There's a lot of missing pieces that we're still trying to find.
Okay. Yeah, you guys taking over the whole morgue. It's kind of unusual, but
lot of bodies. Can I figure out what he's like, if he's fishing for something? If he's
do you have human?
Okay. I do, yeah.
All right, roll human.
Ooh, 26 under 40.
This guy's posture is absolutely perfect. He is in amazing physical shape. His haircut is military standard. This is not a working doctor. And also he's wearing combat boots, now that you look at it. This dude is military and like a door kicker. Like he is I mean, he's kind of smooth, but like, he knows how to talk to people, but he is not he's clearly fishing for information and he's military.
What if you don't mind me asking, what branch are you in?
That obvious, huh? Look, we're all
just by the whole everything about you. Yes.
Well, the civvies don't notice, but you're not a civvy. That's to your credit. But have you found anything weird?
I need to know a lot more about who's asking and why before I can answer any of those questions.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's fair. Air Force?
Okay. Name?
Smith.
Sure. I'm surprised you didn't go with John.
Look, I get it. You wanna follow protocol. I just thought, we can follow protocol too. You can hear from us from our boss, from your boss, really, pretty soon. But if you want to skip that, be able to go a lot faster.
I'm sure, but I'm a fan of rules. I'm a fan of following rules and protocol.
All right. I mean, rules, makes it hard. It slows everything down. Kind of gets in the way sometimes.
if there's information that you have that could help me, then maybe we could talk. But if you're just looking for the information that I have, then I'm less likely to exchange information because there isn't really an exchange at that point. It's just me giving and not receiving.
Well, it's not information. I'm more of a. I could be backup if you find something.
Are you expecting me to find something?
It's on the table.
Is he lying to me? Is he like? Does he know
Roll
more
human.
than does he know more than he's letting on? Fucking Smith. Let's find out.
You need to beat a 53.
Well,
which is a success. Yeah.
That's all zeros across my dice. So
Okay.
I don't.
Oh, you can totally trust this guy. Or you don't. Or
Have you
he's
seen
about
this
to kill
weird
you.
note?
Yeah. Yeah, you can't get a read on him.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not going to take away your character's agency, but yeah, you don't get a good read on this guy. Like,
yeah.
he's yeah. And you have obviously no idea what he knows or what he doesn't know. So
yeah. Yeah, you talk to our boss and we'll go that route because, I mean, we just we can't share information without our handlers. So, you know how it is.
Okay. All right. He just finishes his cup of coffee, and throws the cup away, walks out. Meanwhile, Agent Wingfield, you're the one briefing Major Garrett, right?
Yes, I am. So,
right.
Just going over all the information specifically about what we found at the farm.
So, are you going to emphasize all the weird shit you found medically?
Absolutely not.
All right, roll persuade.
Yeah. That is being kept on the card, but we're again, other than the fact that, they weren't found with blood, but that's also we're not saying,
I mean,
how,
that's, yeah,
though.
yeah, you can't lie, but you can
omit.
Yeah, well, it's more like, yeah, we found all this stuff, and then he's not a forensic expert. He's not going to know the meaning of it if you just use
exactly
medical terms.
Exactly. And that is going to be a 58 under 70. So
okay. So he's like, well, what's your read on the situation, Agent?
I mean, if I'm being honest, this is really really weird, but comparatively. But the initial read that I can see about this is that maybe we have it's like a serial killer situation coming in from Houston with Braverman coming in. Obviously, he is dead. Yeah. He is dead, but his wife is still missing, so they can't discount the possibility that we might have a very twisted Bonnie and Clyde situation going through that just went south some way.
Okay, so you think she's behind it? You think she
may be connected in some way, but we're not certain right now, which is why we're trying to pull at least some connective tissue on what kind of credits they may have been using to get down here, money situation, something.
Have you considered... there's a possibility I think you haven't considered you should really give some weight to.
Okay.
It could be an organization. Could be a satanic cult. I think that's something you should consider. I have some resources. There's an excellent police training video on identifying satanic cult activity.
Oh, listeners, if you could only see the video.
Oh, God damn you, Ross.
It's the 90s, baby. It wasn't that long ago back
you
then.
can also look that video up on YouTube, listeners, if you want to play the home game.
Yeah.
I try.
You made your persuade check. You can yes, I'll consider it. We'll we take your opinion very seriously. Yeah.
I'll take a little. If you need to set the video right now, we can possibly take a look at it right now once we're going through the main evidence
he gives you the
things.
VHS. Yeah.
Yeah. It's right there, but
it is well worn. Yeah.
But yeah, no, Alexa, no offense. I've already seen some stuff around that is pretty heinous, and I believe in the fact that humans can do really awful things. It doesn't always have to be attributed to Satan. So,
they're humans working for Satan. That's the thing. It doesn't. Okay. I don't even care if you're I know if you're from the city, you're probably an atheist. That doesn't matter. It's just that you're
Catholic, actually.
Oh, don't tell him that.
Okay.
I tell him that while looking directly at him.
You're a Christian. Okay, sure. Yeah, he's that kind of guy. No. Look, yeah, I'm just saying the people are working for the Great Deceiver. That's all I'm saying is that they're working for him. It doesn't matter whether they believe it or what. Well, yeah, it doesn't matter what we believe, it's what they believe. So just consider it. All right. So yeah, you just waste your time having to.
Yeah. By chance though is Colorado's? Is that?
He's not there. You can reach out to him, but yeah, he's very busy. Like they're very.
I do.
He accepted your reports that you were like faxed.
Yeah, I do want to try to see if I get a quota quickly for this because I do have. Sure. I did sneak off with the lizard just in case because I do want to ask him a question. So
yeah, yeah, you can find him. He's there. Yeah. He's just organizing his
minimizing contact with Garrett.
Exactly.
Yeah, basically, yeah. They do not care for each other. That is true.
I actually look at it too. It's like, hey, I hate to ask you this one thing, but did he try to pawn this off on you too?
Oh, the Satan thing, the satanical thing. Yeah, that's his first. Any big problem is Satanist did it. Ever since.
Yeah, no,
he has that Oprah thing recorded. It really has played that back for me.
I'm gonna be honest. When I was younger, I saw Monsters and Mazes, and I laughed nonstop. So
I don't know what that is. I don't want to know.
Yeah, it's a joke, is what it is. Anyway, but I do have a kind of a weird thing too, and I actually give him all the information we have so far, since keeping him in the loop. But also, agents Taurean and I kind of had a weird encounter last night. So when we were at the hotel room, and it might just be more than just it's. Some food or something was around the hotel, but we had a coyote. We heard a coyote very close to the hotel, and it sounded like it was trying to scratch to get in.
Give me persuade.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh no! It's when we came in, we found this lizard there, which
okay.
It just seems very odd. Let's see. That will be 57 under 70.
He gets. He's very serious. He's, coyote is an important animal in our beliefs. You may have heard of him as a trickster spirit, but he's also unclean. He is bringer of. I am not an expert on this, but it is. He is a harbinger of ill tidings.
So somebody playing around could be putting this at our doorstep as a threat.
They're spiritually unclean and should be avoided. I know some experts who know more of the significance of this, medicine men. They're currently out, but I could send for them.
If it's helping with investigation, that'd be appreciated. I don't mean to have you go out completely out of your way on there because we're all busy, unfortunately, because of this. But
saw the photos that looked like the coyotes dug up all the bodies.
They did, but none of them touched them.
Yes,
so it's like when they immediately
noticed
put
that
the bodies.
Too.
That's the same thing with the car. That's the only reason we found it.
Why no coyote I've ever seen would dig up a car like that and leave it alone. They need digging something takes energy. Energy needs food. Coyote, every animal out here is always focused on food, on survival. I have never heard of a coyote doing something that it did not think would help it survive. It makes no sense. It is.
Unless they thought it was a threat of some sort. That's the only thing I can think about.
You must not tell Garrett about this. He must not. I do not want outsiders to think that it is related. You understand, of course.
No, I'm not going to. No, like I said, something weird's going on here, but I would be remiss to bring any potential heat down on you and your own. So you've been a huge help to us so far. And honestly, right now, you're not being an asshole to us. So thank you.
You seem to be sincere in your desire to find to find out what has happened to these people. I will send for help. I will find out what this means. This is, but yeah,
I'm getting that. So thank you.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. Meanwhile, Cybulski, are you going to an office?
Yeah,
at the station or the
I'm
hotel
gonna
room?
dig in somewhere and I guess make a bunch of phone calls to different regional offices because we got this list of names. We got Tooley, we got Clark, we got Franklin, we got Jackson, we got a second Clark, and then Braverman seems to complete that chain. So
All right,
looks like we got
first,
West Virginia, Tennessee, New Orleans, and Texas. Well, I guess we already have Texas.
An agent Cybulski is looking up some murders or some
Reaching
some
out
names.
to other offices.
Give me a criminology check.
I'm assuming open
or
cases.
bureaucracy, whatever's higher. This is pretty. These are open cases basically.
Yeah, criminology is slightly higher. 41 under 50. Hooray!
Okay. So you just need one roll for all of it because this is routine stuff. This is like your day-to-day thing. So it's not really that hard, just time consuming. Especially in the grim dark days of the 1990s. I'll just put these in sort of chronological order. And I'm just posting the little text in here. Cold Country Killer, West Virginia suffered a rash of unexplained disappearances, cattle mutilations for several weeks. About 5 months ago, 9 people disappeared in 2 weeks in Lowry County. Theories range from serial killers to satanic cults to UFOs are bandied about to explain the crimes. A partially cannibalized and bloodless corpse was found wrapped in trash bags and hanging from a tree. Suspicion fell on backwoodsman Mac Tooley, last person seen with victim. When the police attempted to arrest Tooley, he shot himself in the head with a Colt 45. Autopsy revealed traces of human blood and tissue in Tooley's digestive tract. Then Dr. Brenton Clark, the county medical examiner, resigned his job and moved to Nashville shortly after he performed the autopsy. Nashville newspapers from a week later note that Dr. Clark vanished from his Nashville apartment. Police have no leads. Then in Nashville, 4 months ago, homeless people in Nashville began to disappear. At least 21 in 3 weeks. The investigation eventually centered around Father Willard Franklin of the St. Bartholomew's Shelter for the Homeless. Franklin was questioned by police but committed suicide by disemboweling himself before a search warrant was obtained. Then the French Quarter Cannibal. 3 months ago in New Orleans, there was a series of murders in the French Quarter. There was a disappearance. There were disappearances, and then as the police and public began to become more vigilant, several bodies and parts of bodies were found stashed around the city. 3 weeks into the murder spree, a local man, David Charles, killed an unarmed homeless man who had broken into his home. The autopsy, which was made considerably more difficult because Charles had emptied both barrels of a 12-gauge shotgun into the tram's abdomen, revealed traces of human flesh and blood in the dead man's digestive system. The tramp's name was Eliza Jackson. His last known residence was St. Bartholomew's Shelter for the Homeless in Nashville, Tennessee. David Charles left, let's see here, New Orleans for Houston a week after the shooting. After shooting Eliza Jackson, 2 days after he arrived in Houston, he was found disemboweled in his hotel room. Police believe he did that to himself. And then in Houston, you know what happened in Houston.
Oh, David Charles. The handwritten note said David Clark. That's weird.
Typo.
Okay,
or
so
maybe
it's like handing off a damn baton. Okay. Don't like the picture that draws.
So that takes you hours, obviously. Dr. Lambert, you've kind of done all you can do with the bodies after realizing the tranquilizer exists nowhere in nature, known to science. Some of the elements in its makeup appear to be unidentifiable and are perhaps not native to Earth. Yeah, what do you want to do with that information and those samples?
I mean, obviously, hold on to it because that's there's no real easy way to like contact our handler at this point. For this,
you don't have a handler. You have a boss. You are FBI
agent in charge.
Yep.
Yeah,
yes,
you aren't Delta Green.
Yes.
I mean, we could send a message to Hobson.
Yeah. Well, at this point, I'm gonna hold on to this, and I actually kind of want to look at Braverman's body. Because obviously the mode of death is a little different, but I want to see where the differences and the similarities kind of cross.
Yeah. Give me a forensics check. You can also examine the car too, because that has not been processed, because that was just dug out yesterday. Like, it is just now available. Now that I think about it, it would take them a while to dig the car out and then bring it to a place where you can examine.
Yeah. Sadly, that is a 69 over 60 for Braverman.
Okay.
Nice, but
well, actually, Agent Wingfield, your briefing doesn't take that long. You could help with the checking the car.
Okay, yeah, I will go ahead and run a forensics and my 30 and hope for the best, so.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm going to say an 80 over 30 does nothing.
No.
Okay. So what you do find is Braverman died 5 weeks ago. About, it's hard to nail exactly, but he's been cooking in there for weeks, and obviously there's been a lot of decay. Someone sliced a large hole in his belly and let his intestines spill out on the front seat. His lungs were removed after death. That much you can tell. And the corpse is mostly devoid of blood. There are bloodstains in the car and on his clothes, but not nearly enough to account for the exsanguination. But that is all you can find. Oh, wait. No, here. There's actually more. So, or actually, give me a medicine or surgery test.
Ooh, that's an 11.
Well, boy, he's got some weird injuries internally. Tissue damage that cannot be explained. The wound where Braverman's abdomen opened and his lungs were removed is an enlargement of an older wound in his abdomen. The older wound is about 8 weeks old and was about 4 inches long. It is a deep wound, cutting through the skin, fat, muscle, and abdominal wall, creating access to his internal organs. It was expertly sewn shut using surgical thread. There is damage to the adrenal glands atop each kidney. They were punctured by something not much bigger than the tip of an IV syringe. Similar to penetration into the brain, a narrow passage from the base of the skull next to the spinal cord, all the way to the amygdala in both hemispheres. There's 2 amygdala, 1 in each hemisphere. And yeah, his body is also riddled with adrenochrome, which is harder to tell, but, because he's rotted, but you're still able to do that. Yeah, that's really, really weird. How was that done? How did that work? Yeah. You get this theory of like something inside him stitched him up. No, that's not possible. Yeah, with 11 though, that would explain it, but like no.
Definitely not that, because that would be weird, and that's a little too weird.
That's not something known to science.
Huh. Okay. All right. Look, if he's got an older injury and it was sewn shut, then theoretically, it was done at a hospital, right? And we could check and see if he was reported as having checked into the hospital for any sort of injuries or anything within the last within 8 weeks, or 8 weeks ago, rather.
Okay. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, you do have some hours left in the day. Both of you can be bureaucracy checks.
Okay.
This is a 19 under 40.
And I have a 30 under 60.
There's no such evidence of surgery at any hospital that he was near.
Okay, cool.
Maybe they're dissolving sutures?
Mm-hmm.
Just for my knowledge, really fast, when did the prostitute start disappearing?
2 months ago.
8 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So right about the same time.
Yeah.
Cool.
That is correct. But yeah, it's now very late. You've all managed to have dinner together. Where do you eat, by the way?
Can I do one quick phone call before this?
Sure.
Because I already know what the answer is going to be, but I like to have things confirmed. I want to call up Houston again. And I wanted to see if I want to confirm that Braverman worked on Charles's, or no, wait, is it Charles? Yeah, Charles's death in Houston when Charles was found disemboweled.
He did.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Bye. Click.
So you have a choice of a diner or a Tex-Mex place, or fast food.
Tex-Mex, hands down.
Look, somewhere where we can pick up food and then talk in the hotel, because I feel like this is not an in public kind of conversation.
Okay, yeah, you can get food. You can get tacos to go, burritos to go, and go back in one of your hotel rooms and talk. Yeah, so you share information about what you've been doing all day. And you're all caught up. What else do you talking about? Do you have any theories of the case, Dr. Lambert?
Theories. Great. Let's talk about that, because I'm seeing a goddamn cannibal murder baton being passed through people, if judging by the doctor's work, through gut wound that then 8 weeks later bursts out. Is that what we're doing? Is that where we are today?
I mean,
well, okay. In fairness, it's not 8 weeks. It was about 3 weeks. It was 8 weeks from the first injury, and then
okay, sorry.
Fine. Yeah. Wait, hold on. That makes it better. When did? Okay, hold on. Now this is the important question. This is the question that Cybulski should have asked. Braverman investigated Clark or Charles.
Charles, yeah.
When? Like what? Like about 8 weeks ago? Was that the time frame?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then,
he's one of the officers who found the body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So then, what it sounds like, and this is crazy, but what it sounds like is that there's some sort of parasite, some sort of, I don't know, maybe like a worm or something that infects these people. It started with Mac Tooley and it went to Clark and then down on the line until it infected Braverman. And clearly it's controlling. It's some sort of it's impacting their minds in some way, and obviously taking over and forcing them to do these crazy insane things, and then eventually maybe it's like a boa constrictor kind of thing, right? Where eventually it gets too big for its cage and it just has to get out. So maybe the worm is it's growing too large, and then it has to.
But is that possible? Because I know there's essentially,
all of
parasites for insects.
For helplessness.
Yeah.
No, odd 7. I'm
fine. 71. I'm not.
That is one sand. You have if you said that to your boss, your career would be over.
Yeah, 48 under 60. This is weird.
Yeah. I said it was crazy. I did say it was crazy.
That doesn't mean you.
So Dr.
doesn't
Lambert,
change what you said.
That's fair.
Did you? Sorry, Lambert. Did you tell us out of character? Did you tell us about your military friend?
Oh.
Yeah.
Because you haven't said one way or another. That is up to you.
I haven't yet. I guess that probably would have come up before we started really diving in, as we were like, okay, so let's talk about what happened. And I would have been like, yeah, so I had another weird run-in at the hospital, so I don't know what's happening.
You think we're being tracked by somebody else looking into this, or
military intelligence? I don't love the sound of that.
Super worms that they are tracking across infiltrators? I mean, this is like really hot. Obviously, pull out the satanic tape again. This is more weird. No, it's like weird conspiracy crap than this, and throw it over my shoulder.
Yeah, I've seen those. I hate them. They make my days worse in every possible way.
Oh no, that's why we're stomping on it. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking we might need to send a message to Hobson and see if there's if there's any way we can know if there's some sort of military intelligence active in the area, because if your little friend there has more information, I would really rather not be flying blinder than we are right now.
Exactly. Don't we at least get shot by some other
I really don't
spook, so?
want... I think we're all in agreement that we're keeping Major Garrett real arm's length.
Yeah, no, we're not letting him anything. Although the sheriff right now, he's actually said that he might be able to help us on our issue of our midnight visitor the other night. So, and
Colorado's
Colorado. So yes,
okay, the liaison. Okay, yeah,
yeah. He's been really nice too. So he's going to ask some of the it's like some of the tribal elders or people that he knows that might have more information on it.
I imagine they're pretty stretched thin generally, but any bit helps.
Yeah.
Okay, Doc, can I... All right, so here's the thing. We... how to put this delicately? There's been a lot of doctors and law enforcement infected along this chain, and how do we know if something has happened to one? I might need to check in with that Ted guy again, because if he was drugged with something weirder than just regular drugging, that could be a danger too. Okay. Anyway, the thing I wanted to bring up is that it's entirely possible we get infected by whatever that is, and I feel like one of us needed to say that out loud.
You didn't have to, but yes, it's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, just
Oh.
A weird thing too is from what you've researched already. Do you know if there's a way to counteract this? That's like this toxin, or
Sorry, just had a really awful thought.
I'll share it with the class.
I mean, okay. I guess it's not that awful, because the Begay family was the last family that was killed. But they didn't have their bowels cut out. All of the different people that have been disemboweled, like there's a connection there between the people who have been disemboweled and the next people.
A proximity
who do the
connection.
disembowelment.
Yeah. What about rope?
So my thought is it's not shit. Okay. Is Braverman, because Braverman is not the most recent one, but the Begay family was not disemboweled, which means that they likely were not connected. Like they're obviously connected to this, but they're not exactly.
Yeah.
So shit. We have to look at all of the different people and find out who was at the crime scenes for these families. See if any were like. There have to be more bodies.
We have two people that we have some suspected connection proximity-wise. We have Braverman's wife. We have John Rope. Those are two people who were close to, or at least potentially close to, those things. So my question then is, what do we do with that information? Do we ask Mr. Rope if we can do a medical examination to make sure he doesn't have murder gut worms, or like what do we? That's
also, did we end up tracking the line of where everything was going from where we found Braverman's car going forward?
Oh,
unless there's a way that it branches. You mean the map line?
Yeah, because weird hypothesis time. Mm-hmm. If we're dealing with some physical parasite that can actually rip through with that, then if their car is if Braverman's car is anywhere near where they found the Kirtley's car, and their corpses still haven't been found, then one of them may have been this carrier for this thing, and it went on.
The Kirtley's car was found southwest of the buried Braverman car. So if you look at the map, if you see the word Geronimo, there's a little curve in the river right above Geronimo. Yeah. If you go like straight up from the top of that curve, like, it's basically straight north of Geronimo, like just north of the curve. So not too far from there. And then the Kirtley's car is on the other side of the highway of the route, just past the reservation border. So on the left side, on the border.
So the car, yeah.
Yeah, you can give me intelligence ×5.
Okay.
No.
Ooh, 79 under 80.
Ooh.
All right, what did I get?
Well, 79
that's
or
a
80. Yeah. check it out.
94.
Oh.
Okay, so your theory is that what is your theory about who the killer is? Like you talked about a carrier or what was your term, Dr. Lambert? A parasite?
Yeah, I mean
Okay.
it reminds me of the zombie ant fungus, that Ophiocordyceps,
Yeah.
unilateralis or whatever it is.
Okay, so what your theory, the theory, assuming like do you believe the news clippings you received mysteriously about West Virginia and stuff like that, those are all connected to this?
I mean, there's
because if you do, your intelligence check means that like the parasite is intelligent enough to operate, to travel, to resign from a job, to move to a new city. It is able to operate vehicles and tools. It can speak. It is intelligent. Like it does not act like an animal. It is acting like a serial killer. That's if assuming all that evidence is about the same case.
True.
So that's what your intelligence check means. It must be intelligent. So,
and yeah.
I mean, I think
yeah.
I think we are all under the assumption that these are connected based on the similarities to different things.
I'm also working on the assumption that your hospital friend, Mr. Smith, is probably also the one who dropped off your coffee and your note, or at least related to that person, because, well, same location, some amount of information implied that lines up with the other stuff we're finding. So I'm kind of wanting to see if I can talk to our agent in charge and see if we can shake up whatever military intelligence or whatever other operation is going on, because I don't like just the three of us being the people handling this.
I mean, do you feel like if we got him in a room on his own right now, we could convince him? Did he seem like he was that threatening or hostile to you, Doctor?
Oh, no, I don't mean threatening anyone. I mean, like, let's if we can expedite whatever behind the scenes back channel, like bureaucratic connection. If Mr. Smith was telling the truth, then I would like to avail of that.
I mean, ultimately it's a question of what are they willing to give us, because all he was doing was asking me questions and was not offering any information of his own. He wanted to know what we had. I don't know if this means that he has information that he would be willing to share. I couldn't really get a good read on him. But
okay. You can keep talking if you want, but it is getting late.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm gonna send a fax or something to agent in charge Hobson, and you're like, hey, contact with military intelligence asset in area ? Connected to case.
All right, roll helplessness. You're sending that over a fax. Do you really want to do that?
I don't know. Faxes are secure, right?
You're FBI,
Depends
they're not.
Oh, fine. Yeah. Well, whenever I have an opportunity to reach out to Hobson, that is my next goal.
Okay. You can make the 2-hour drive to Phoenix and be there first thing in the morning. You'll lose willpower from driving.
Okay, in that case, I'm probably going to do that. Other than that, I also think we may.
Well, you're not supposed to, right? Like you're assigned to this case. Driving back to Phoenix for just to do that is. You can if you want.
I consider this a part of the fucking case.
Okay, all right. Lose 1d4 willpower. You're gonna be driving for hours at night after a long day of investigating shit. So,
good 4.
But you have a place in Phoenix, so you could just crash there. You're only getting a couple hours of sleep before you want to be there first thing in the morning to see Hobson. So, great. Meanwhile, Wingfield and Dr. Lambert, you probably want some sleep.
Yeah,
I need some sleep. Yes.
So, both of you lose 1 willpower, because both of you awaken after you fall asleep. And you're standing under the night sky in the chill desert mountains.
Sorry?
A coyote howls. You turn and you see a large coyote, as large as a wolf, staring down from a nearby boulder. The coyote turns its head, turns away, and sort of waits for you to follow.
Are we still in our pajamas? Or
yes,
My guns.
Each of you are alone.
This is obviously a dream. I'm going to follow the coyote.
Just close my eyes basically from dreaming.
You look and
I want
you
my
can
gun.
see you recognize this general area. You're in the same areas. This is the Gila Mountains. The coyote leads you to a cave. The way winds down fissures in the mesas, the rock hills, until you arrive at a cave mouth from which a shallow stream runs. Both of you, your nose is suddenly assaulted by the scent of blood. The stream runs red with it. The coyote starts to howl as if it's mourning the loss of its loved one. You, in the darkness, you have the starlight you can see, but inside the cave it is pitch black. But you can just feel something stirring in there. Something hateful. Something hungry. The wind picks up and the stench of death rushes at you. And something begins to move in the shadows. You wake up. Both of you lose one sand. And you know where that cave is. It's a real cave. It is a real place in the real world, and there is something hungry in there. Yeah, both of you. By the way, do either of you have the unnatural skill?
No. I have a cult, but
No, not the same. Meanwhile, about at the same time, it is dawn. Agent Cybulski, your first one in the office. Aside from Hobson, who looks like he hasn't slept much or at all.
Cool. Good to be on the same wavelength.
Agent Cybulski, I was about to call you.
Yeah, good. Can we need some private chat time here. Closed door.
You have not destroyed any evidence, have you, Agent Cybulski?
No.
Okay. And you are not going to destroy any evidence, and you are going to make a determined effort to bring any culprits in alive. Or suspects. Good. It has come to my attention that this case has national security implications. And
is this connected to perhaps the doctor mentioned what appeared to be some sort of military asset, possibly military intelligence sniffing around our case?
I do not know what you're talking about, and if I did, I would not be at liberty to discuss that.
Certainly.
But you are, if someone identifies themselves as Air Force intelligence, you are to cooperate and turn over all evidence to them.
Okay. I assume were we to be contacted, we're just waiting for that. There wouldn't be any way to accelerate that.
I'm not at liberty to discuss that.
Okay.
Did you have anything else you wanted to add, Agent?
No, just wanted to... I mean, unless you want a granular rundown of why, but you seem to already believe there is a certain gravity to this situation.
There is very much a gravity to the situation, and it is imperative you do not destroy any evidence.
I'm going to run humans on Hobson here. Oh, I am just whiffing. I've been up too long, regular failure. I don't know.
And that includes remains. If you have to use force to bring a suspect in, we do not want the body unnecessarily damaged.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we had this talk. I'm gonna just drive back down. Keep working the case then.
Okay. Meanwhile, Wingfield, what are you doing after you wake up?
So yeah, I'm just kind of waking up to cold sweat for that. Looking over, is Dr. Lambert up too, or
I think Dr. Lambert would have a separate room.
Okay, so yeah, we're probably at so true deal. But although the first thing I actually do before I do it is I have Colorado's number, or we have those, so I'll actually call him first.
Hello? Yes.
Hi, the Colorado.
Agent
Sorry,
Wingfield?
Yes. I'm so sorry to bother you. I didn't know who else to talk to about this one, but basically we'll describe the Dream in one part in detail, starting with like, the issue with the coyote that left us the omen lizard the other day.
Mhm.
Well, I just sat there like dreaming about this right now and describe the cave in detail. Does that sound like I'm just getting the feeling this is a place that I've seen here that I know, even though I don't know the area. Do you know that cave?
How yesterday I sent that's the we in English it's the sacred cave. It's where the medicine men go. What I sent one of the apprentices over to fetch them, to bring them back to answer your questions. He has not returned.
I don't think he's going to return. Look, I know this is going to sound very off, but
Garrett will believe whatever story you come up with. But I can't tell him that.
No, and I don't expect you to in this case, but if we could get at least your cooperation on this. Because
we're bringing everyone.
Okay, let me get my partners here first, just before we do that. Could you meet us at our hotel so we could cooperate?
No, you come to the station. Bring your guns.
Okay. So,
you don't need a human check. This guy, the Colorados, is ready to kill.
Yeah.
This guy whoever's in that cave is not going to come out alive. If Colorados has anything to say about it.
Exactly. So, I'm just immediately going to Lambert's room, like.
Yeah, Lambert, how are you handling with it, by the way?
Some crazy dreams. But knowing that there's an actual location, of course, the first instinct is the first thing that I would like to do is when I hear the door knocking, is to answer it, because I need to tell Wingfield about this dream, because I have no reason to suspect that both of us would have had the same dream. I'm the one who's been dealing with the bodies, so of course, like, I'm a little just slightly paranoid about, any potential parasites. So not doing great. Not doing great, but I'm trying to keep it together. So
okay.
But I answer the door, and I look at Wingfield. Morning.
Morning. This is gonna sound incredibly odd too, but I just got off the phone after calling Colorado's because I had an incredibly weird dream that was in relating to kind of the coyote situation.
With the cave?
Both of you roll sand for helplessness.
Yeah!
Yay!
96. Hoo boy!
It's 1 for helplessness.
32.
Yeah.
Shared dreaming is fine. It's okay. It's completely normal.
Yeah. Yeah, Dr. Lambert, you get the sensation of being a puppet on strings.
Yeah. He is incredibly shaken by this. He's wanting us with our weapons out there now.
Yeah, 1 point of sand is not fun. It is bad.
I'm gonna give a call over to. I mean, actually, at this point, we have the pager, so you can call right now since we probably don't have block motor rules at this point. So, but yeah, I'll go ahead and give Taurean a page right now so he can give us a call and keep him in on the loop right now. Yeah. So I'm gonna go up there just to see, because I think they're already getting ready to head in there, so we just need to make an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
What else is going through there? I don't know if you want to try to get yours, or I don't expect you to go into a firefight either. So,
guns are not my
strong
suit.
So, do you think you can get a hold of your Air Force guy, or do you feel comfortable going into that situation on your own, or?
How do you expect me to get a hold of him? He didn't give me any way to contact him.
I mean, he seems
like he just kind of was there at the hospital, but I have a feeling that he'll find me if he needs to find me.
Kind of figured if you make yourself more known on that might be the case. You'll wander around the hospital or someplace, but that's in any case. Yeah. So I'll go ahead and head that way too. I'll contact Taurean on the way right now, and yeah.
So Cybulski, what are you telling them about your meeting with Hobson? All 3 of you meet up at the station, because that's where all the guns are, and that's where all the loaded.
Well, apparently,
guys are.
If we're contacted again by Air Force intelligence, for example, we're supposed to give them whatever we got. And also, we gotta... well, apparently we need to try and obviously take any suspects alive, I say. Looking... I don't know. Looking about how I sound when I say that. But apparently we need to keep all scraps of evidence, I'm going to assume, contained, including bodies. We need to just make sure those are locked up tight so that we can hopefully give them to people who are more aware, or at least people who aren't us, and we'll take them for whatever Area 51 shit. I don't know.
Oh, boy, yeah.
All right.
Oh, so you... And so dreams? Same dreams? This is what we're starting the day with on your guys' end?
Yeah, that was the case, so...
So, all three of you realize Colorado's is just going to call in a posse, and he's going to go to the cave.
I don't
but
think
Garrett,
we can stop that ball rolling.
No, you can't. But like, Garrett is going to be real confused unless you can like explain it in terms he'll understand. And I had a dream, and Coyote showed me.
No,
it's not a good reason to do that.
Yeah, they're putting a posse together because there's like missing medicine men, and it's something that they're going to take seriously, obviously. So they're putting a lot of their resources on that, considering the disappearances in the area. This is all perfectly normal.
Well, Garrett doesn't take that seriously. Oh, they're just high on that peyote.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Racist. No, I'm leaning on that because it's like it's important to them. But like, you don't need to put resources and eyes on this. Like, this is
you don't want extra
tribe.
troops or to surround the area or anything like that.
Well, I mean, if you can spare a few for a wider cordon, that would be good. Because if it does happen to be connected to the ongoing case, then obviously that would put your name on the collar, and you don't want that.
Roll persuade.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, and not for nothing. It helps relations, right? Because you're taking them seriously. So you just help establish a perimeter, things like that.
Exactly. So,
that is a regular success.
Okay. Yeah. He'll send in some of his boys. Yeah. In fact, he's gonna go too. He's curious. He wants to make sure that his presence is known. But that's good. Like, that means everybody's on the same page. There's not going to be any snafus, and you're going to be able to have as much manpower as possible. It's a big desert.
Let's, make sure to check in regularly.
People are taking it pretty seriously. And, I mean, the Colorado's wants to go now. Unless you want to persuade him to do otherwise. But the sacred cave is east of San Carlos, and west of the little road there. So between San Carlos and the little road.
The only other thing in the air that I wish we could get a hand on would be our Air Force friend, but I'm sure they'll show up when they feel like it. So I got
here's a little map showing you where the sacred cave is.
I got no reason not to go if y'all are ready to roll. Doc, are you going to be on
out
the
of
scene,
character?
All
of you should go. It's a
okay. Reasons.
Get into the cave, Doc.
Yeah,
should we split up?
Look, I've had some decent dice rolls, which means they won't be from here on out.
Also, you'll have medical supplies. If someone gets shot, you'll be.
I guess I could do that too, huh? Yeah, the thing I'm here for.
Or they can excise the possessed tapeworm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's not talk about that. I'm not thinking about that today.
You go out and in force, and Garrett in Colorado's are the ones calling the shot because they're the ones that they'll listen to the cops.
I let Colorado's know that we
state troopers will listen to that.
Suggested to Garrett that it's a tribal matter and we're just keeping an eye on it, and that's as much as Garrett knows.
So it takes you a few hours to organize that, and they do surround it. And it is, but it's a big area. It's the fucking desert. None of you have military science, do you? You can roll criminology at like -20 for. Okay. This is more of a tactical thing than like
fair
crime problems. It's definitely a military science thing.
Oof.
That would have been nice if I had the higher roll, but no, that fails.
No. Regular failure.
Yeah.
So no one made it. Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, this is not like you're not used to desert environments. You're not used to doing a manhunt or trying to capture someone in this kind of thing. So
all I know is, I don't know,
yeah.
treat it like a grid search. Everyone in charge of their area, except you're not moving.
So they circle around the cave and and move in, tighten it on the cave. And Garrett is looks at the so Garrett looks at the three of you as well. Colorado's is like, well, I'm going to call out to them, see if the medicine men are there. I'm going to do it from cover. And if they don't answer back, I know them. Then we know something's wrong. So there were 3 medicine men in there, plus the apprentice. So 4. One of them, they're not all. If none of them answer me back, then we know something's wrong. Because if one of them was sick or injured from something they would have gone for help. Or they'd answer. There's no way all 4 of them would be unable to answer unless there was something wrong.
Okay, so Colorado's? Can I try and separate Colorado's away from Garrett? Because I really don't want to have this conversation in front of Garrett.
Sure.
Okay. There is a chance that even if they answer, there might be something wrong with them.
Roll persuade.
No, I missed that.
Okay. He's like, I know them. I will be able to tell.
Okay. But you know them.
Roll sand for helplessness.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Great. Nope. Failure.
It's 1. You can't change his mind. He's gonna do it.
Okay.
You don't have the authority to stop him. So
okay.
He yells out. And he calls for them. And Balmer, William, David, there's nothing. Motions for then he gives a bad, something's wrong. So he's out there in front, and one of the state troopers is sort of positioned at the side to go in first. Yeah.
I'll position on the other side to kind of with my 9mm. So
okay, you can get rifles too. Like they have rifles or shotguns.
Yeah, I'm getting a rifle. Then
all of you have bulletproof vests. That's standard.
If they have a rifle, then I'll take that too. So
you can have a rifle. Anything. You can have a bolt action or a semi.
Yeah, have what you want.
It's no problem. We're not in danger at all.
Yeah. So these are civilian rifles. So yeah, it does 1d12 damage. Plenty ammo, so yeah. But yeah, the state trooper goes in, and there is a gunshot, and his head is blown clear off. All of you rolls stand for violence.
Hey, 29. I make that.
And Garrett
12.
does not. And Garrett does not like seeing one of his guys fall, and he immediately open fire. And there is a lot of suppressing fire at the cave, directed towards the cave mouth, for about 10 seconds, but no one's in a good position.
Yeah.
So there is silence after that. The gun smoke clears. One dead deputy as it reaches noon. It's very hot. The sun is directly overhead. Yeah. What are you going to do? Garrett is panicking. He doesn't know what to do. He is directing people like, "Where's our gas? God, what do you mean it's back at the cars? Go fucking get it!" They don't have any tear gas or flashbangs, so they have to go get them. Don't worry, you can't get out of there, right? In Colorado's, I don't know. He is
cave is a cave is a cave. So I'm gonna go with maybe.
Because is it a cave or is it a cave system? Like there's a...
Yeah, is there another entrance?
Do any of you... None of you have geology, I imagine.
Oh, I have an unassigned science, 20 points. I could say geology.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Geology for the win again, which is RPPR motto.
This will be extremely funny if I can. Nah, 59. I don't know shit.
Oh,
yeah. All right. You wait. I mean, it's.
I mean, I'm not going in.
Yeah.
It's not first.
It'll take them like half an hour to hump out to the car and back with like a tear gas launcher.
Great. Well,
I mean, I have a really bad idea. I do have 20% in anthropology. Could I possibly do that for looking at? It's like
I just I'm listening. What
yeah, basically just for it's like knowledge of potentially native. It's like First Nations
yeah.
dwellings or whatnot. So
Sure, go ahead and roll.
that's
Yeah.
grasping at straws here, but what?
Like
Yeah, no,
likelihood
you
of
really
a
are.
sacred cave being a dead end. That's
Yeah. Unfortunately, my
Actually, there would be useful information if you made it, but yeah.
but unfortunately, my freshman year course and that did not help us at all. So
Yeah, weirdly
goddamn
enough.
general education.
Yeah, you're just waiting. What are you gonna do? You can wait for the tear gas launcher. All right, yeah.
I'm not going. They clearly have rifles, or I'm not fucking getting my head shot off.
Okay. The tear gas. The guy with the tear gas comes back, panning. They launch in tear. They has gas masks. And they fill that cave the fuck up with tear gas. And then they rush it. After a few minutes, the guy comes out gagging. He pukes, but they yells out, "All clear! There's some bodies in here."
Do we see any weapons?
I mean, you're outside the cave. You just saw the guys come out. Yeah. Like some deputies, some state troopers, and some tribal police went in.
No, I mean, I'm asking the guy who came out. Like, were there weapons by the bodies? Is it
no weapons?
So okay, so we have someone with a rifle still unaccounted for. Good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they start looking. They start canvassing the area. They start doing a manhunt. But whoever it was, there was a way out. Do you want to search the cave or you want to join the manhunt?
Well, I'm gonna take a look at the bodies.
Yeah, because we need to find out who's missing. From the bodies first thing.
All right, you find the 3 medicine men and the apprentice. 2 of them are little more than knife-marked bones. They have been stripped of all flesh. The third, Palmer Valor, is drained of blood and partially devoured. And so is the apprentice, who was sent yesterday in order to fetch them.
Stripped of all flesh?
No, the Palmer and the apprentice.
No, I mean, I'm sorry, I was talking about the other.
The others, you were just bones, like, with knife marks on them, like, heavily cannibalized.
So okay.
Are there
the blood was extracted the same way as with the family and the sheep, with the needle marks, trademark needle holes. Let's see here. 3 men were killed and eaten over a period of about 3 weeks. You can give me a forensics check.
39 under 60. Yes, under 60.
You get fingerprints. Bloody fingerprints.
Okay.
Fingerprints.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still leaning in the direction of rope is certain.
There's a couple other things. Search the case. Yeah, make a search check, both of you.
Yeah.
Or all of you. Yeah, everyone is going to there. There's one thing that you see automatically, and then there is.
Nope. I critically fail. This is completely sideways.
Let's see. Yeah, unfortunately, regular failure.
Did you make it?
No, I did not. I got a 90.
Okay. Well, the thing that all of you see that is partially destroyed because of the tear gas grenades, there is a sand painting, but you can mostly make it out. It is a sand painting of a handsome man in a dark suit.
Like a modern suit?
Yes. Like
is Colorado's like around and cogent enough to talk to?
Yeah.
Is this painting, is this recent or is this old?
It's recent.
Okay.
It was made with sand. Like it's like it is unexplainable. It is hard to understand. But all of you can give me alertness checks.
Oh no, I critically fail that.
I critically succeed. 55.
And I just regular fail that.
You notice one of the state troopers who you only saw him today for the first time. He is trying to grab a weird rock. And you critically succeeded, Agent Cybulski. So it looks like an irregular rock about 30 centimeters across. But you notice the guy is hefting it up far more easily than he should. And
hey, what you got there?
He said, "Oh, it's nothing. I'm just moving aside." When you grab it, it feels like plastic,
like a prop.
Yeah, and you critically succeed. So, you actually fumble it a bit when you grab it from him. You drop it on the floor on top of another rock. And when you pick it up, it is not scratched. The rock did not scratch the rock. It is this weird rock was not scratched when it was dropped on another rock, which, given even with your base geology training, it should have been scratched by it.
Shit.
Yeah, it is an odd rock.
How big is it?
30 centimeters across, which put everything in metric. I don't know what that is in inches. 11 inches, a little under a foot.
Okay.
And it weighs like almost nothing. It weighs like a pound.
I'm gonna bag this, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Any other noticeably strange rocks or materials around?
But that's when as you're making a note of it, the tribal police say like, "Oh no, it's theirs." The tribal police, "Oh, this is our crime scene. We'll process this."
Okay, I take a picture of it and hand it to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it takes you some time to do that, but it'll take you time to send the fingerprints out and have them analyzed to see who it is. If it's in the FBI database, obviously you'll make this a high priority thing. But yeah, there's the sand painting, the weird rock, and then the bodies. None of them have abdominal wounds in them, aside from cannibalism. That's like, it takes you hours to do this. So by the time you're done, the sun is getting ready to set. To take it back, the tribal police are processing the crime scene. They continue the manhunt. They do not find whoever the shooter was. There's a dead state trooper now. Garrett is furious and focusing on calling in more people from around the state in order to do a bigger manhunt. What are the three of you going to be doing? Dr. Lambert?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little lost.
Oh yeah, you do find vents in the cave. Whoever the killer was, they climbed through vents that led to a gully that allowed them to escape.
Mm-hmm. Vents in a cave.
Mm-hmm. If you made your anthropology check, it's like caves used by these they would choose caves with vents so they could have fires in the cave without suffocating. So yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm still wondering, if we're the most likely current vector, at least in terms of names that we have, are either the wife, or I would really like to talk to John Rope.
Yeah, you can talk to him. You can go to his house. He's the neighbor.
Because he's the only person who ought to be somewhere. Everyone else is. Well, I mean, the wife. We just don't know.
You find him. Yeah, you talk to him. He's an old man. Apache, another sheep farmer or rancher, and he's happy to answer your questions. He tells you the same story that he told Colorado's, that something was taking the sheep. It wasn't coyotes, because you identify coyotes by how they act, and this was not like by the signs they leave behind. This was not.
Can I ask a strange question, Mr. Rope?
Mm-hmm.
Would you be willing to lift your shirt so I can see if you have any recent damage to your torso that you haven't been aware of?
Yeah, he complies. He has nothing to hide. He does not have any wounds.
Okay, that's good. Just there've been strange bits of drugging and damage connected with this case. I just wanted to make sure that you weren't a more direct victim and weren't aware of it. Good. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Rope. Obviously, if you let me give you my pager number. If there's any other strange activity on your property in the near future, we're looking very closely. We don't want anyone else to be hurt by these circumstances, human or animal, obviously. So here you go. You take care.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
at the very least, if it's based on the weird wound thing that the doctor found, Rope seems fine.
Yeah. You continue working the case because that's all you can do at this point. But yeah, you don't have any leads right now.
Nope.
So you have to eventually stop and get dinner and rest. And after that, you eventually what else is there to do but to go to sleep?
Yeah, why
That's
not?
when all three of you wake up
Trees.
in the middle of the night. Coyotes howling. A lot of them outside.
Oh, wait, we're not.
Are we alone again, or are we together?
No, this is at the hotel.
Okay. I was
Yeah.
pinching.
Oh, I'm talking about in the dreams. Okay.
No, you're awake. Like this is
Oh.
you wake up like coyotes are outside howling.
If I peer outside the door, how can I see any coyotes outside?
You do not. You actually do see coyote. One coyote is watching you. It is not howling. You do not see the howling coyotes, but there is one at the far end of the parking lot under a street light. It seems to be looking right at you.
Oh God. Yeah, I'm gonna.
It looks in a very specific direction and then walks into the shadows.
What direction does it look?
Give me intelligence times 5.
That is a 59 under 80.
That was the police headquarters.
I think we should go now.
All right, are you?
Yeah, I'm getting.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
I'm gonna go grab my jacket.
All of you pile
throw
into
on
one of the same
pants.
car. You grab your guns, I imagine.
Mhm.
Bulletproof
Yeah.
vests.
Yeah.
You were first on the scene. The door is
Oh.
open.
Oh.
Shit.
Well,
What are you gonna do?
is there any other activity, or is it just the door is open and it is quiet?
It is quiet and the door is open.
Okay.
All right.
Who is going? What are you doing?
Doc, do you have a weapon?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not great, and I'm not great with them, but yes.
Okay, well.
You
But
get plus
before we go
20%
in-
if you're at close range.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Mhm.
But before we go in, I just would like to take a quick run around the station and just make sure that there aren't any extra doors that may be open somewhere else.
Give me an alertness check.
79. No.
Okay, yeah, looks fine.
Okay. All right. Well, great.
You can hear sirens in the distance.
Wait, is there any chatter on the radio?
As you turn on the radio and listen, you start hearing callers. Report in! Who's at the station? Someone answer me! God damn it!
I'm gonna get on the horn. This is Agent Cybulski, just arrived on scene. What's the situation?
They aren't answering. There's 3 officers in there. Are you inside? What's going on?
Just arrived on scene. We're about.
You're outside the building. You could just walk in right now.
Yeah. We're gonna investigate. Get on scene as soon as possible. Over.
I'll be there in 3.
Well, we don't have 3 apparently, so I guess I'm taking point. You guys have fun backing me up.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm right back here. So.
No, I'm gonna go a little. Well, actually, wait. Do I have stealth?
You can go
No, I don't
fast
have
with
stealth.
athletics. Okay, yeah. You can just go.
Yeah.
You can just walk in.
I'm just going.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's just
Give
go.
me. You give me alertness.
All right.
87. This is not my scene. I'm not here for this this active shit.
64 success.
10 under 50 success.
Give me a sand check for violence.
Oh God.
Critical failure.
Okay.
Succeed.
That is 4. Actually, no, it's 6. It is 6
So
for critical failure.
Oh,
did you fail?
No, I succeeded.
All right, it's 1 if you are adapted to violence or you make it. You see one of the tribal police officers staring in front of you at his desk. His hands are handcuffed to the desk, and the face of the skin, the flesh of his head has been flensed away. Naked eyes stare from red grinning skulls. And you look, and there are two other officers in the similar condition, handcuffed, the flesh just removed from their heads. And it doesn't take you notice to notice one thing that is not here. The rock.
Shouldn't have let them take it.
The no weapon, no firearm. None of them have gunshot wounds. None of them drew their weapons. There are no spent bullets. There are no bullet holes. There's no sign of a struggle. Colorado's is in shock when he sees it. He starts talking about Johnny. He was a Nam. He saw combat. They were all. None of them would have hesitated. They were all. I would have trusted any of them with my life. He is absolutely devastated. He is in shock. He is staggering a response and organizing a man of door to door, like kick the door, like go to door everywhere in San Carlos. It is.
Are there cameras in here?
The camera system has been is gone.
Sure. Of course it is.
You actually do find it in the dumpster. Someone poured bleach all over it. Yeah. It has been expertly dismantled or sabotaged. It is someone who knew what they were doing and did it Great. Phones start ringing, or phones have been ringing, by the way, or phone starts to ring at the police station. People calling the station for Colorado's absent line. He's like, no, I don't care about the goddamn coyotes. Fucking everyone was calling.
Was that?
Wait, coyotes where? What coyotes?
Everyone was. That's what I was calling about. We were getting so many complaints about coyotes.
Where?
How everywhere in town. Everywhere at the same time.
Oh,
okay.
He just slumps. He just slumps down.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're here. There was a coyote outside our hotel, and it looked towards the station. That's why we came here.
It's raising the alarm.
You're getting a page from the FBI.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna grab a.
The FBI, like their fingerprint division.
Oh, good. Grabbing the phone. I'm just gonna find a phone that's not ringing. Open the line and call that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go for me. I was told this is top priority. They belong to Master Sergeant Emmanuel Santana, age 48, Apache. He deserted Special Forces in 1971 while on leave to attend his mother's funeral. Contact Phoenix. What the hell is this? Contact U.S. Army Criminal U.S. Marshal Service. Contact FBI. Contact C. Oh my God! What the? Yeah. This guy, Special Force. Oh shit! Damn, this is I need to make a lot of calls.
Yeah, me too.
We'll fax you his last known photo.
Great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Colorado's?
Yeah.
You with me?
Yeah.
Okay. I got a name. I got a Santana Emmanuel. Deserted Special Forces. Is this anyone on your personal radar? Do you have files I can search?
Yes, I know. Emmanuel is a good man. He's been here for decades.
Okay, this is what I was talking about at the cave. People are
he was a hermit
by something.
He occasionally helped people who got lost out in the desert, but he stayed to himself. He didn't want to be in civilization no more.
Do we know whereabouts he would normally stay? Because his fingerprints were at the scene in the cave.
Just the mountains. He lived in the mountains. He just lived like in the old ways.
Oh, good.
He was trained by the army to be a killer, and when he came back, he didn't like it.
Okay. Well, we're going to get... I think that he's our...
At this point, it becomes a federal case. They, Santana, or Colorado's tells you, the FBI can have jurisdiction. and
Yeah.
Garrett is also in shock. But this is going to become, all of you don't need to make checks now. This is going to become like a statewide manhunt for this guy. Like, you have a person with, the skills to do this kind of thing, and no known address, and they are going to be bringing in hundreds of people.
So, in other words, the perfect kind of person to do the kind of killing that has been going on. Oh, good.
Yeah, and now, sorry.
Just a important question. So there were 3 people here.
Mm-hmm.
Were they the only 3 that were working? So the 4th person. Okay, so the suspect then, or the thought then, right now is that Santana was the 4th person. Come back to retrieve the rock. Okay.
Yep. And he got it. So yeah, you can all think about what kind of plan you want to do. Yeah, the manhunt is a big thing. So a couple things happen. One, the FBI gets jurisdiction of the case. And 2, Special Agent in charge, your boss, i.e. Agent Hobson, shows up in person, drives down from Phoenix, and says, nominally, I'm in charge, but I am the thing about leadership is you have to delegate. I am going to delegate this to you 3 as the people in charge of this manhunt and bringing Santana in. And as we discussed previously, it is imperative to bring Santana in alive. But if that is not possible,
attempt to maintain the integrity of any bodies generated.
Yes.
Figured.
It is. We must. Evidence is important in a complicated case like this.
I presume keeping the evidence extremely secure upon discovery.
Yes. And you are. This is an important case. If you bring it in for us, it'll be very good for all of your career. But any evidence is now going to go to Air Force Intelligence.
Have a liaison for that?
Yeah.
Or is
contact
that just
me and I'll contact them. There will be one person on site, an observer. They will not be your superior. They're there as an observer, and that will be Captain Smith. And he introduces you to the doctor.
We've met.
Yeah. He nods at all of you. Don't worry, I'm right now just undercover as another FBI agent, so I will be here as part of the manhunt, observing. But I will not get in your way. Just want to make sure important evidence related to national security is kept. Okay? We're all here to serve our country and protect the people. That's what this is about. So yeah, that is. So before, after you do that, though, so you have that meeting in the morning, and then as you, let's see here, Agent Dr. Lambert, yeah. As you're leaving, a payphone rings near you, and you notice a hot cup of coffee on top of it.
I go over and answer the payphone.
There's a woman on the other end of the line. She says, I hope you like the news clippings I sent. Look, I have some more helpful hints, too. In case you hadn't noticed, those spooks in the dark suits, they're not your friends. They're only after that fake rock. And if you're in their way, those badges aren't going to protect you or the locals. Let them have it. What you're after came inside the rock. Don't let it get away. Okay? Then it hangs up.
Okay.
And, yeah. So before we go, how are you organizing a massive manhunt?
I assume by rolling bureaucracy. I don't know.
I will say, agree to that.
You don't have to make skill checks at this point,
because in real life, I am out of my depth.
Well, I guess the main thing is the techniques. You don't need to worry about them. The surface level stuff. The main thing is you need to tell the people what you know about the suspect, and what they should be aware of, and how you think the suspect is traveling, and like how certain you are of it. So if you think there's like two possible ways, you would divert 50% of your resources to approach, escape path A and escape path B, right? You have to catch this guy. How do you think he's traveling? Where do you think he's traveling? And what kind of things should the people searching for him be aware of? So, yeah.
Well,
obviously, you can't really tell them what you think is the truth because you don't have any evidence.
No,
but
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming he's armed and dangerous based on the rifle shot to the head and the fact that we didn't find a rifle in the cave. Likely traveling on foot.
Okay.
I'm assuming.
Yeah. Great. That allows them to focus on not the roads. I mean, they'll put up checkpoints and stuff. Well, they don't need to put up checkpoints if he's not on the roads. They don't need to waste resources setting up checkpoints.
Did we end up getting the recent-ish image from the fingerprint office?
Yeah, well, 20 years ago.
At least on there.
But I mean, Colorado's could describe him. He is a very tall, strong man, Apache, long hair. Basically, from what Colorado's tells you, the guy was trained to go behind enemy lines and murder as many Viet Cong as possible.
Yeah, do not attempt to apprehend.
Just identify and relay.
Just ordinary backup.
Just a U.S. government trained one-man killing machine, Colorado's believes he brought some souvenirs back from Vietnam, but he's not sure. Certainly he would have some guns on him. Yeah. You tell him to go on foot, and that he was at this police station at this time. And if he's on foot, he could only go so far. So
I would also put out a general warning too for getting anybody and everybody off the hiking trails. So
good point. Yeah,
make sure that there's no one else
to come home. They send out people to all the tourists, campers and hikers that are out there.
Yeah, I mean, if
there weren't many, because of the Devil's Highway had scared people away from the area, so you don't have to worry about that.
But it's extreme climbers or people that would probably be out here. So just get them out.
Yeah, they're already. Yeah, I mean, most of them don't come during the hottest time of the year anyway. So this is you're now in like August. It's now like August 1st, I think. So it is incredibly hot during the day. That's where we'll begin as you all are going on there. The first reports is that the coyotes are weird. There's a lot of coyote tracks in the area, but not many coyotes seen. So good hunting as we begin the manhunt for a very normal serial killer who's definitely not unnatural in any way. So, all right, that begins.
Cool.
Yeah, that ends the first part of Puppet Shows and Shadow Plays.
Nice.
Thank you. And again, big thanks to V. And check out Queen's Court Games. And we'll talk to you all later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.